thank you so much for watching. Today we have the honor of having Aaron and Jennifer on our show, and we're super excited to get to know them and ask them a few questions about marriage. So, how long have you guys been married?
We just celebrated 10 years.
Oh, awesome. So, tell us a little bit about your love story. How did you guys meet and fall in love? How did you know they were the right person to marry?
You can start with the dates, because I mess the dates up every time.
It's terrible at that. Well, I started going to a Monday night Bible study based out of our church that we were going to, and I was probably 14 at the time, and then it grew and grew and grew, and there was a lot of people going, and he started going, and we just realized that we had similar friends, and so we
ended up being around each other often, but we didn't date for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then we started dating.
We dated for a year and a half.
And the reason it took us so long to date is because I was going through a season of my life where I was not dating. I was avoiding girls and relationships.
Yeah.
Just trying to focus on God, trying to walk the way I wanted to walk. God wanted me to walk, and
he basically prayed and asked God to just show him who his wife would be one day. So he was waiting for that.
I was over the dating scene. I don't. I feel bad for people that have to date. So I hated it. I prayed that God would reveal that person to me, and I feel like when we started dating, I told her, I was like I want you to know that if we're dating, that means we're going to get married.
How did you feel about that?
I was so excited.
Yeah.
I've been waiting. We're such close friends, and I just, really enjoyed him and wanted to be closer to him. So hearing that made me feel good.
And didn't you feel like you were going to marry me before I even dated you?
Yeah, I did. I wanted it.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you guys are kind of on the same page when you're dating and waiting for that marriage to happen.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So you guys are now doing vlogging. That's super exciting. And you have quite a big following. Unveiled Wife, and you wrote a book.
We've been busy doing that. Yeah, we started 6 years ago. We started before that blogging, but for business. We had a photography business. And then
before that, we blogged as missionaries.
Yeah, we were missionaries traveling when we first got married, and so we kept our family up to date with what we were doing through a blog.
So we learned a lot of things along the way.
Yeah, so we learned along the way, and then we started Unveiled Wife 6 years ago, and Husband Revolution shortly after that. So we've been focusing on it.
It was a 6-year anniversary this last month.
Wow. For both of them?
Yeah.
For hers,
we started Husband Revolution 4 months after we started Unveiled Wife.
So a little bit less than 6 years for Husband Revolution, but close.
Yeah. So Unveiled Wife, where did that idea come from, and how did you, get through writing that book? What were you thinking? What was going on in your life that, brought you to that?
Well, Aaron and I, the first few years of our marriage were really difficult. We went through a lot, and even came to a point where we felt completely hopeless in our relationship and considered separating. And that was a really hard season for us. But then God challenged us and reconciled us and brought us together and healed us. And so that point of recognition where we felt hopeful was really encouraging, and we knew that we wanted to share that message. Aaron knew that I had a passion for writing my whole life, and so he encouraged me to start the blog to kind of process this journey that we were on and what we were learning, and how we got to a place from hopelessness to hopefulness. And so that's when I started Unveiled Wife, and I told him that I wanted to use the name Unveiled Wife because I wanted it to be.
Well, didn't you feel like God gave you that name?
Well, I do feel like God gave me the name, but a part of it too was I didn't want my face or name to be anywhere on it. I just wanted to blog as some wife, out there learning this stuff. I was going to hide behind this name, and
which is ironic because it was Unveiled Wife.
The whole point of it was to be transparent, open. Yeah. And so about 3 days into it, I realized I needed to put my name on this, and so I still kept the name Unveiled Wife. I love the name. I think that it encompasses a lot of meaning. And it's based off of 2 Corinthians 3:16 through 18, and it's just this idea of when we turn our hearts to the Lord, the veil is taken away, and there's intimacy there, and freedom and transformation, and so that verse is what kind of founded my ministry. And then you want to talk about?
So I wanted to go back to the point where you decided that you were going to reveal who you were and actually use your real name, your real identity, in telling other people your story. So how was that moment? How did it feel to, actually unveil yourself and show everybody, what you guys have been going through?
Well, it wasn't too too far into
I
blogging.
actually remember we were driving home from church, and I was talking to you, and I was like, hey, it's kind of weird that you're called the Unveiled Wife and you're teaching women about, or you're talking about being open and honest and transparent, and you're not willing to tell people who you are.
Yeah, and it was only a few days into blogging, so I was still like getting my feet wet and understanding what that looked like.
Well, you were also, you were very nervous and apprehensive because you knew what you were going to talk about, and you were worried about your family reading it.
I was worried about everybody reading it. I was so nervous about the whole thing. But when he addressed, being transparent, I knew God was asking me to be transparent, that it was just the right thing to do.
Wow.
And at the time, I didn't have like a huge following. It mostly was family and friends, and so
it was all of our friends that we invited to the page to follow it.
So they kind of knew already.
They already knew who it was, yeah. So it was the right thing to do, and I just started blogging from my perspective and letting them know who I was. We threw an about page together and my picture.
And your picture. We put your picture on your Facebook page and on the site.
What do you think the power is of you actually unveiling yourself and revealing yourself versus if you were to go the route of being anonymous and blogging from that point?
I don't think it would have been as powerful of a message. I feel like a lot of women stick around and follow Unveiled Wife because of the relatability. Because they see me and they go, oh, that's just a normal woman journeying through marriage, and she's sharing her story with us, and that's real. And people want real. So.
And one of the huge things that we've always seen from people when they comment about what she writes about is the rawness. Is that we have almost never curated our life online. We just kind of show like the reality. I remember one time I took a picture, and I know we're going to talk about husband revolution in a sec, but I just took a picture of my Bible, but I had like kids' toys on the table, and I didn't set it up that way. I just took a picture, and I didn't even recognize it, but everyone was like, I think it's so awesome that you just showed how real life looks. I'm like, oh.
That's awesome.
Because they were talking about all the toys and
People
trash
can
on the
relate to
table.
that,
So they because we have a lot of social media that everyone curates their life. They show the best part of themselves, where your whole ministry has been from the beginning showing the worst parts of ourselves.
Pretty much.
And how God's redeeming.
And how God's redeeming.
Yeah.
And we still do that for the most part.
That's awesome. And so did that kind of inspire you to start your, Husband Revolution?
What inspired me to start Husband Revolution was I was managing all the back end stuff. I was doing all the comment moderation, social media stuff, building the website. She was for Unveiled Wife. She was writing stuff. We were doing this as a team.
We were working together.
And we kept seeing like all of the comments were all very one-sided. And we started realizing that we were kind of doing a disservice only ministering to one side of the equation.
And there was a lot of people asking about a husband's page.
Asking about it.
Is there something like this where I can say my husband?
Yeah.
We were also realizing that many of the issues that these women were bringing up and talking about, at the root of it, spurs from a husband who's not leading. Insecurities, fears, jealousies, emotional hurts and pains are all coming from these husbands that are just, not that it's only their fault, but I mean, we're the men, we're going to be held responsible for how we're leading our homes. And so I was like, well, I guess we have to kind of do a husband page.
Yeah.
And where I'm talking to husbands and encouraging them only. So that's kind of where Husband Revolution came from, was out of the necessity of like speaking together.